Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Special Edition. I am joined by Sleeping Warrior and Ranty, as it has come to our attention that there is a bit of a problem in terms of people's cognition when looking at this image of the Isle of Man. In essence, it has become clear that people simply don't understand the physics or geometry of a sphere in terms of what is and is not visible based on that geometry. So without further ado, I'm going to hand across to Ranty, who's got some depictions of exactly what we see based on a flat plane with a simple graphical illustration and what we see on a spherical Earth. So just a moment, just wait for Ranty. Are you ready?
I am.
He is. Excellent. Right, let's put the screen onto you and away you go.
Okay, so yeah, it was evident today that we had some people coming in and they just didn't understand the physics of what we're trying to talk about, and that is the curvature of the Earth and why we cannot see it on a ball. So this is our position, and it's pretty simple to understand. Here is the lighthouse in this location here, and we have this is the image that Anthony took, and that lighthouse is 51 miles away. And it's our position that we live on a flat Earth. So from Anthony's position here, looking across 51 miles of water, which is what was in the way, we are suggesting the reason we can see the lighthouse is because it is flat. And that's the only reason that we can see it, is because we live on a flat Earth. That is our position. There's no mathematics needed into it. We just see it because it is there. However, if you believe in the ball Earth and you live on a ball Earth, and we are looking at this image down at the bottom for the Isle of Man. Let me just move these out of the way. In order to see the lighthouse, which is again here placed in the same location, and this is Anthony or yourself taking the same image of 51 miles away, when you try to look at the image, what you actually have to do is physically look through the Earth. Because the Earth or the water, in this case it would be the water, would be obstructing your line of sight. You cannot see it. So their mathematics will say the reason that you can see this is because when you look straight ahead at the horizon, like so, so you're looking straight ahead at the horizon, what magically happens is that the air conditions allow your eyesight to be bent around the curve of the Earth, like so. Around and around and around. And now your eyes can see the object that you're looking for at 51 miles away. So this is what they tell us that is happening, that you look out to the horizon, the atmosphere affects what you see, and this object, which is 1,748 feet of drop away, has now magically been brought into your eye line so that you can see it. You don't have this 1,748 feet of drop obscuring what you can see in your line of sight. And that is the two models. That is our model. We can just see it because it's there. And there it is. Or we have the ball Earth model where we see it because the light is being bent around the Earth. And it is making up for 1,748 feet of drop. Now then, we also know we're seeing island in the background, and we can change that from 1,748 feet of drop to 2.5 miles of drop. So now when we see island here, in this location here, the values has changed now, and now your eyes, as they look out to the horizon, the light is bending around the curve of the Earth and revealing objects that are 2.5 miles inside the water, through the Earth, 2.5 miles. So it's up to you which one you believe. We either see it because it's there, Or we believe in this myth magics.
Is that you done, Ranty?
That's me done.
So yeah, just to summarise what Ranty has just said very eloquently, what we have on this image is Ireland and the Isle of Man being projected up to our line of sight. So roughly, if you can draw a line, Ranty, just from where it says U to approximately where it's above where it says 51 miles, a straight line.
Okay, hang on then.
So perfect. Keep it going. Keep it going. Yeah, perfect. So this is your actual line of sight. Anthony was looking in this direction with his feet anchored to the ground. That's the direction he is looking. So as much as Ranty's saying yes, that this is what they claim the light does, the matter of fact in terms of the actual geometry of the sphere is Anthony stood looking out. They claim he's looking at the horizon, looking down on this model. They claim he is looking this way. He isn't. That's not what he is doing. But that is what the claim that the globe Earth necessitates, that he is looking down. However, what he is looking at, he cannot see because it is obscured by this section here.
Yeah.
Now this is the bulge. This is what is obscuring your view. We cannot see the Isle of Man. It is not there. Therefore, it is being holographic. Don't bend the line. Don't bend it. Don't bend it. So that's his line of sight. That's what he can see. That's the direction Anthony's looking. And what's happening is the items that are obscured, because they are physically not in his line of sight, we do not have line of sight on the ball, they are projected up to the drop figure. So in the case of the Isle of Man, it is being projected up 1,748 feet from beyond where you cannot see to be in your line of sight. So when I say what you are seeing is a holographic projection, it is because it is literally doing what Ranty is demonstrating now, being projected up into your line of sight. Therefore, what you see is, on the Sphere Earth model, a hologram. You cannot see it. It is physically and geometrically impossible to see Isle of Man on the globe. Now, the myth magic that they talk about in terms of bringing it back is doing what Ranty is now doing. Literally projecting it up from its actual position into your line of sight. But you can't see it. It isn't there because there's a wall of Earth curve in the way. So this is the effect we are having. It goes up a bit higher actually, Ranty, because obviously we see all the land below all of these items. Yes, just to get that in there. So yeah, so the entire island is being loomed up, holographically projected from here to the line of sight from around the sphere. Not only that, at 1,748 feet, we have Ireland in the background also being projected up perfectly into the line of sight from 2.5 miles behind the curved Earth. Again, if you can just, back to your actual image. All of that nonsense, very difficult to understand about holographic projections and looming, that's what you need to understand if you want to believe you live on a sphere. However, if you live on a flat Earth, you simply see it because it is there. We do have line of sight with this lighthouse, and we can see it. In the same way, we have line of sight with this bug, line of sight with Ireland, line of sight with Isle of Man, as you would expect on a flat plane. So if you can just, one last time, Ranty, just bring up your picture of a flat plane, just so it's nice and clear. This is what we have in this image. Here's us. Here's the lighthouse. We simply look at it in a straight line, like a sniper through his gun sight when he's trying to shoot at somebody. He's actually trying to shoot them, not a hologram, because he does have line of sight, and we claim the same here. We have line of sight in the same way a sniper has line of sight, because he can see things and shoot them. Well, we are saying we can see the lighthouse, and if we had a good enough gun, we could shoot it. On the ball side, you're saying we absolutely do not have line of sight. We cannot see these items. It is geometrically impossible to see them. Therefore, we are having a hologrammatic effect, projecting them up. Now, if you want to believe that nonsense, that's absolutely fine. We're saying we just see them because they are there. It is as simple as that. Further to that, the standard mathematics for accounting for refraction do not bring these items back from behind the curve. Absolutely not. So you've got big problems. You need to debunk the lighthouse that we say we see at 51 miles because you can only see it on a flat plane if you have line of sight. In this diagram, this is the line of the Earth. Sorry, just one last time with the actual flat Earth model. And then we'll round out, I think.
Well, I just want to close.
Yeah, sure, you go ahead, Anthony. Sorry, I've waffled and Ranty's given an excellent demonstration, so you go ahead.
Just flick back to the one with the labels on it. You had it on the screen a second ago. Zoom out a bit more. That's it. So if we were looking down behind the ball, we would see Bala identified in the right corner. We would see the lights of the town of Bala because it would drop relative to my observer position. My observer position is, or my observer height is 52 feet. Bala is around 200 feet. That's around about the distance that you would need to be able to see the houses and the buildings there. I made this point in the last video, and I'm making it again. If we were on a ball, that would drop towards the horizon as it goes further away from us, and we would see it. I am stood below these on a flat plane, looking up to them, and that's why we can't see them. Because you can't look above something if you're stood below it, because the Earth gets in the way, which is exactly why we can't see them. You guys have misidentified Bala as Baldrine or Baldrine, and that's the reason why you guys are struggling. If it was a ball, we would see Bala and we would see the buildings of them because we would then be above them. We're not seeing that. That's the reason why we're on a flat plane. It supports the argument that we see the lighthouse because we just see it. We don't see Bala because we're below it. Otherwise, we would see it. There really is nothing else that you can say to this to debunk this. Nothing. I'm out.
Yeah, the only saving grace you have is to debunk that location of the lighthouse, because that, for me, and as far as the evidence suggests, is proof that we see Ireland behind it and to the left of it. Mark Taylor today claimed that it was still Isle of Man to the left. Well, even if that is the case, what we have just described in terms of seeing 51 miles from an elevation of around 50 feet is impossible on a sphere. So that lighthouse, that's what you guys have got to debunk. That's our diamond. So if you want to debunk it, that's what you need to aim for, because that is what we see, and it is only physically possible to see it on a flat Earth. Anything to add before I actually do end this time?
I think that's covered everything.
Anthony?
Fuck you, Globers.
Oh, no need. Every single time. At least I'm in focus at the end of this video. So with that, I'll say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to the live audience for tuning into this short and concise presentation in regards to what it actually takes to look at Anthony Riley's picture of the Isle of Man if you believe, like a fantasist, that you live on a sphere. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley.